what's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Cadillac on Mars. Now, this is a special one. I'm actually called this one Cadillac in Milk, because this week we got, hey, man, if like it works. I said what I said. It's my show. This time we're dipping this Cadillac in a glass of milk like that shit was Oreos. So this week, we got our usual. We got T. He's with me in here, and
on time this month.
And on his end, he has his other show, his main. We're just the side piece over here, but it's cool because side peak is all the action. But so he's got his Stays Crunching Milk, and this week we got some guests in the Cadillac as well. We got Lunchbox and we got Ant in here as well. So we're just gonna be chopping it up, having a conversation. Delvin will be in here later. Sean, I don't know where the fuck he is. He's MIA right now. I actually think he's in Florida. So, doing Florida things. I don't know why everyone hates Florida, but also visits Florida like all the time. It's just a thing. But welcome, guys. How's everyone doing?
I guess we hanging out in Star Wars Blue Milk over here.
Yeah.
I have to say, this is a very luxurious back seat. Thanks for having me in the car.
It's plush. I got that velvet tuck and roll.
well, my butt cheeks appreciate it.
Oh, good. Get comfy. We just put that armrest in recently as well, so you know what to do with the arms now. But let's go around the room. First, for people who might not be super hip to Stays Crunching Milk. Why don't you guys tell people a little bit about the show? Someone who's not T. Why don't one of you guys go?
I knew.
I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
So Stays Crunchy and Milk was something, or is something I should say, that was started about 8 years ago. All of us worked at the same place. I met T. T was basically the leader of my team when I joined the workplace we're at, and he introduced me to Anthony. They decided to name the show, didn't include me in naming it. I was just told what it was. Didn't understand it at first, and I just learned to accept it. Much like, a lot of things in my life, I just roll with it. But it's been great, learned a lot, grown a lot. It's amazing to see the growth over the years. Some of the conversations we had, things that we said we would never do that now, people are couple kids deep on, or
I don't know. Let's remix on a couple kids deep. That just sounds a little sketchy. Maybe.
I do have 2 kids now, so
yeah, but you don't want to be deep in them. That's not what Stays Crunching Milk is all about.
He's deep in love.
Got it. Not lust.
Yeah, two very different emotions.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys went from co-workers to some of the best friends I've ever had, and our show is just a byproduct of that relationship.
Now, I know in the early episodes, and it's kind of something I missed, though I still enjoy current episodes. How did it come together in the early episodes to record during lunchtime? Record.
That didn't happen until way later.
Oh, and I also know that there's sort of chapters to the podcast too. So when I came in, it was this cast and Gabe, but there's been other characters too, right?
Yeah, we had another guy we used to record with. To keep it short, he just don't record with us no more. And I kind of feel like I'm not gonna say it's my fault that we started doing lunch recordings, but it became like I had one child, and then like Lance said, that lust turned into 2 kids. And everybody else lives on the west side of Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. And it was just like, well, and then not to mention I had 2 more kids. Gabe had 3 more kids.
I think he had 2.
Yeah, he had more kids. He had more kids. So it was kind of like, don't get me wrong, we really didn't miss a beat, but we decided one day to to record downtown, and it worked, and it was fun. You know, we had a mascot bird.
I do remember the bird. Yes.
It was fun to kind of see the looks on some people's disgusted or intrigued faces. It was a good time. You know, nothing beats when we get together. I mean, nothing beats like when we don't talk to each other in a while. Like the Will Smith episode, I guess you can kind of say that we recorded last week was sort of us, because we weren't going to talk about it, but us as friends hadn't talked about it in person yet. So it has turned into more of a discussion that we were having that happened to be recorded. I think that's some of the most organic episodes where like T wants to try to keep us like, well, we're not going to talk about that a little bit. And then me and Dan like,
yeah,
we know we want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And
I already knew that like that wasn't going to fly. We were going to strong arm that our way into that.
But that totally makes sense. Like in what, like how you're describing even that conversation is that, and I really encourage people to listen to the podcast because it genuinely like is like being a fly on the wall with like a group of friends, like hanging out. You feel the authenticity. You feel like that is this. These are genuine relationships, and so it's like I could totally see that. Like when you hang out with friends, you don't really like say, "Okay, I'm gonna hang out with Dan today, and we're gonna talk about these 4 things." It's like, no, hey, what's up, man? What's going on? I saw this, and then all of a sudden you're talking about like I don't know, fucking like the nacho fries being back, and you're like, how did we get here? You know, it just the conversation ended up getting there, and so it's like. Going back to the lunch conversations, I think that's around the time when I started listening, and it was like I enjoyed. It was almost like I was sitting down with you guys because then it was like, well, what did you get for lunch, or like what was missing, or what did you, you know? So you always started with like the order, and then it was like you could hear the people eating in the background and the bird, and it was like having a seat at your guys' table, you know, just being like the sort of silent partner in this. And
that was really too kind of how it started with like I had started doing a wrestling podcast with a couple buddies of mine, and I came to work one day and like I was telling them about it because we all took lunch together every day. And so I was telling them about how I started doing that with them, and that kind of sparked their initiative to want to start what we do now with Stays Crunchy and Milk. And the premise of it was really like we would go to lunch every day and just have fun with each other. We would talk about like whatever we wanted to talk about, you know, the random funny things. We make jokes about stuff. We all have similar interests. And so it was just like an hour long hanging out with your buddies. And we were like, this is fun. We should just do this. And so it started off with us, like every 2 weeks, we would get together at T's place and we would record 2 episodes. Like we would all bring something new to the table. Like well, this is back when we all spent a lot more time doing show prep. So we had bits, we had trivia, like where we encouraged people to send in replies for answers. I mean, for prizes. We would come up with different topics, funny, like whataboutisms. Like we had all these different things. Like we had full on characters that we had developed that were like
a variety show.
It really was like a friendship variety show. And then it's just evolved over the years. Like we've evolved as necessary. Like Anthony said, like when he's had kids, like it was harder for him to come to the West Side to do 2 episodes because we would record late. Like we would be getting out of T's house like after midnight sometimes, and then we would all have to go home and then get up and go right back to work the next morning. Yeah. So we would be dragging, like we'd be tired on Fridays. It was rough. So like the whole lunch thing kind of came out of necessity. But we made it work, and I think like we've shown that over the years we've been able to adapt. Like initially recording at T's, then work, you know, lunch break hour, and then as the pandemic hit, we shifted like everybody else to virtual, and we get together when we can. But like you know, like Anthony said, we don't all live right next to each other. Like I'm pretty relatively close to T. Like I can be to T's probably within 15 minutes, but Anthony's like 45 minutes away from me.
Well, that's what I was about to ask: is how far is the West Side from you guys? But yeah, 45 minutes. Yeah, that's a committed drive.
Yeah,
especially if you're wrapping up like at midnight, like that.
Yeah, so like we try to do it in person as we can. It's a lot harder in the winter, like when the roads are bad, but with it getting warmed up here, and it might be a little bit easier now that Anthony's kids are starting to get a little bit older. So he can sneak away for a little longer, different
Probably and
times now.
earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll start to ease it up. But now we are dealing with the fact that our fourth chair, Gabe, who isn't on tonight, is now a mobile resident. So his internet comes and goes as it pleases. So that's why he's not here with us tonight. He's sleeping somewhere that he barely has phone signal.
Yeah. Now, last I heard, he was in Texas. Where is he now?
He's in Arkansas now.
He's in Arkansas. Man, that dude is really traveling to all the best states first, huh? He's like, listen, I'm getting all this like racism and like conservatism like out first, and then get the good shit on the back end.
Much like one of our former mascots, Jasper, he went south for the winter.
Yeah, but honestly, everywhere that he can stay isn't going, like everywhere he's saying it's like in campgrounds. So everywhere he's going to stay is always going to be some questionable shit, no matter where he goes. Yeah. So like he's taking the the Blue Express no matter where he goes, pretty much.
That's true, because also if you follow Gabe on Twitter's a whole different thing.
On Tuesdays,
he, as the old tag says, that's where he likes to fight, and he definitely does.
I still don't understand. I was listening to the episode I wasn't on a couple weeks ago, and I was just like, I just couldn't kind of like what Floridians do. I'm not gonna stick my hand in an alligator's mouth. Like, I'm not interested in being like, you know what, you believe in not having abortions. Let me talk to you about that.
Yeah.
Most of the time you're not going to change somebody's mind nor heart. Yeah. But what I can do is piss you off a little. That's just not where I live.
Yeah. No, that's kind of the same for me too. Unless if it's someone that I like know and have been communicating with, then maybe I might be like, listen, man, you're wilding out. But for the most part, if it's just a stranger, then it's I always automatically assume they're a troll. So I'm just like, nope, not fucking taking that bait, because when they come in ready to be a troll, you already lost, because it's just funny to them. They're just gonna fuck with you. So I'm like, I don't mess with that.
Yeah, civil discord on Twitter is very few and far between. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful when you see it, because you're like, man, this is what society aims to be, but it doesn't come up very often.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I struggle too, because I really I haven't, surprisingly, like through the pandemic, with like more downtime, except for this like most recent school year, I was on social media like a lot less. And then so it's like a lot of that conversation really died down. And then I'll try to do like, different like Discord like servers or channels or whatever, but I can't do it. Like, it's too like exclusive, or I feel like, that's the PlayStation talk, so I have to go over here and talk over there, or that's the conversation about family. Like, you have to jump out of it, whereas like Twitter is very linear, and it's also just like too exclusive, where it's like, but if I wanted to talk to T about something, I would have to find him somewhere else to bring him in. So it's just like, it's all these little clubhouses. I'm like, I ain't with it. Also, people get very like high on their horse about their Discords, and it's like, this is just like fucking the old school like live chat on your phone type of thing, the party line, So I really don't invest.
There's just so many apps that do the same thing now. Mm-hmm. I wish that society could just pick one.
Yeah, there really are like way too many. So I don't know. Anyways, but so let's dig into you guys. And tell us about you. Like, what's new with you?
What is new with me?
What's exciting? I know you're out here being like fucking ruining the bell curve for everybody and being a super dad, which makes us angry on this show. But also shout out to you.
I've heard some. I mean, I do listen to the show.
We say it with love. No, genuinely. I mean, you're doing some great dad shit. But also,
I don't know. I knew I was going to be on today, so I thought about it. I was like, I don't really think I might be a good dad. That might be the case. But I gotta just think of myself as a good person, period. I kind of feel like if you know me and get to know me, you'll like me. And part of the people who wanted to get to know me was my kids. So they just happened to be part of you know, part of my life. Like I don't know. I just kind of feel like I always wish I had another me to hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, hey, what the heck are you doing?
Well, we got some visitors over here.
Yeah. Hi, Anthony. You
You
just
do?
wanted to come down here so bad.
Oh man, got some skeleton jammies.
You wanted to see what?
Nice.
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
Even
how's
though
it
I know
going?
you can't hear me.
Now, he can hear you a little bit. You want to say hello? You're famous now.
Yep. You're on the internet.
What are you doing down here? You don't got no answer for that? Did mama let you listen to the audiobook?
Gotta let them know this is the audio format. We need words.
All right, go ahead. I'll see you later, man. Have a good night. All right. So that was my oldest son.
Mhm.
Emery sleeping? Okay. My youngest
No.
son is asleep already.
Now, which one's the wild one? Don't you got one that's like ornery?
I guess if you had to say it, I guess I would say Emery. Emery's just more confidently headstrong.
Okay.
Like he knows what he wants. Like I'm not going to eat this. I'm not going to do that. But yet he's like super sweet for the most part. Like what? You gotta tell me something. Can you wait a little bit, or you need to tell me right now, like right this second? What? Okay, I'll come up and see you in just a little bit, okay? Because I know you're not gonna go to sleep right now. Sorry about that.
Nah,
So,
no worries.
but I guess he's the more I guess like classic boy. Like I like to say boogers and butts, and I stump in mud.
I mean, who amongst us doesn't?
Right. To this day.
To this day, man. Yeah, but I don't know. Like both of them are both like under in their own way.
Yeah.
But
I think it's like it really is like a valuable thing to build the relationship and build the memories. Because I think a lot of times too, it's like Black and brown fathers, there's the stigma of like we ain't around, when it's like, oh no, we're around. It's the other people who think we're not, and the reality is like I invest a lot of time in my kids, and as well as I know you do and T does as well. Dan's got his cats, but I know he invests.
Yeah, she's like 16. I feel like I've raised her well.
Yeah, exactly.
keep her off the pole.
And keep her off the ball.
I think she was already on there before I found her, but I rescued her. I saved her from that life.
He brought some morals into her.
Yeah.
Value yourself. Value.
Yeah, when we found her, she was already pregnant. So,
Oh.
I got there too late.
Yeah. You know what? It's all about responsibility. No, but I mean, to be honest, though, to bring it back, like it does bring me joy to see like your Instagram, your social media, and then just see you like hanging with your boys and doing things. And like, also you guys do a lot of outdoor shit. And I'm like, isn't it like 0 degrees outside? And you guys are like at the park or in the museums or something like that.
I mean, it's just been a weird time. Like it'll be 61 day, then it'll be 30 the next. And then like we take advantage of those 60-degree days. And like we do family stuff like vacations. Like no, we ain't going to to Tulum and stuff like that right now, but like while the kids are young, and we do I guess what we consider one take trips.
Mhm.
Like we'll head to like recently we went to Pittsburgh, which is 2 hours away. But they have lots of fun stuff to do. Like where we stayed at, there was the Heinz Museum, like directly across the street from it. And then we went to the History Museum, we went to the Children's Museum, and we went to the aviary, the bird aviary. And all that stuff was stuff they enjoyed. I do think we were there for like 4 days. We packed too much shit into those days. Like we should have like because I think the last day, Thursday, we went to the Heinz Museum, we went to the aviary, and we went to the History Museum. I know, and it was just like, let's wrap this shit up. Like, let's get the fuck out this History Museum. Like, it was just getting, it was just too much for one day. But at the same time, like, I hope that our kids will really like when they get older, they'll appreciate this stuff. Like, I know every time, I mean, the son you just met, anytime he'll talk to you, he'll like, yeah, we went to Chicago. He fucking loved going to Chicago.
That was his highlight.
Yeah, that was his highlight. He really enjoyed the pizza and like, I mean, just think about it. Like, you know, you're 5 or 6 years old, 7 years old. You go to a place, you like stay in this like hotel room and stay up and watch TV when you're there. And during the day, it's like, well, we're going to eat pizza. And then this day we're going to get, we'll get ice cream. We'll get donuts. It's like, man, I know I'm doing it too, but that shit's got to be incredible for a kid to a certain
yeah. Because everything is a little more like on their level and on the fly. Like I know, like, I think from hearing from my kids, like their most memorable trips are like similar to what you're saying. When they got to stay in a hotel and when they got to just pretty much eat like junk foods and fucking cookies the whole time. They're like, this is amazing. Whereas if we were like, do you remember when you went to the Natural History Museum? And they're like, no. Or like, it's not hot. It's like, but you learn things. They're like, I don't give a fuck. But you know what I did like? I did like staying in the hotel. Like my kids love going to Vegas. But they love going to Vegas because, which also worries me for when they're older, because they turn the fuck up when they were in Vegas. Like these kids go hard. I'm talking, I better bring a portable speaker because they want to hear music in the room. They're dancing all over the place. They go down. Most of the casinos have like a little arcade area down below. So where it's like, we like to stay at Excalibur. And they call it the Fungin. So they're like, we got to go down to the Fungin. And they just want to party down there and fucking eat snacks. And then, you know, my wife pretty much stays like at a level of consciousness and fatedness. So that's when she's easier to be like, hey, let's get some cake. And she's like, fuck, let's do it. So for them, they're just like, see, this is great. Like I just kicked it in the Fungin, partied in the room. I'm about to go get cake right now. Today's the best, you know? So I think that's the stuff that really like hooks them in. It's the looseness.
Yeah, and another thing that we try to do, like it's pretty much almost the same as my grocery store theory. Even though like during the pandemic, it's been far and few times they've been to the grocery store with me. Like when we go to some of these places, I do like we'll go to the gift shop, pick out something. You don't got to get nothing super crazy, but like you can remember like you know, like when we were in Pittsburgh, pick something out. Like my oldest son got a little turtle, and my youngest son got a bat. And like he has show and tell tomorrow, so he's going to bring his little bat. Or everywhere we go, I always like get those cranking the penny cranks.
Oh yeah, the smash penny.
Yeah, like we have so many of those, and like shit. I was even looking at some on eBay. Like I ain't gonna never go here. Or my kids ain't never been to 1994, so let me get them this Bill Clinton penny.
Yeah, you have no idea how badly I wish I could find the ones of those that I had from Joggle Lake.
Oh man,
I used to keep them in the little plastic things you get out of like the 25-cent dispensers.
Oh, the little
gotcha bond capsules.
Yeah, the little capsules. Yeah, I kept them
Nice.
all in there. I don't know where they are.
Man, I hope you find those. That's like, I mean, to a little bit of inside baseball. Geauga Lake was a amusement park that used to be in Aurora, Ohio. Here, I guess in Geauga County, and man,
Is that where Wayne's World was? Aurora?
no, I think that was Aurora. Was that Illinois?
Illinois.
Oh, you're right. It was Illinois. My bad.
I pulled that out of nowhere because I don't even remember seeing a movie in seventh grade science class.
Wayne's World?
No,
Yeah.
did you ever see the NFL's draft day movie?
No.
Okay, well, for those listening, if you saw Draft Day, at the beginning of the movie, there's a scene where Kevin Costner is talking to the guy who plays the Browns owner in the movie. They're like walking around drinking coffee in what looks like an abandoned amusement park, because it was an abandoned amusement park that was Geauga Lake.
Okay.
Thank you for that wrinkle in my brain because I've never seen that movie before.
Ness got to go to the what's called party of that, the premiere party,
Really?
because her buddy worked on that movie. So she got to go kick it at the premiere and meet Mr. Kevin Costner.
When did that movie come out?
Oh, God, you guys been together for so long at this point. I'm gonna go with
like 2014, 2013, something like that.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, was he in that?
I think.
Yeah, he was Vontae Mack.
Yeah. R.I.P. Well, now you got to bring down the room. Smash pennies, though, I did want to comment on. That was something that was just like really special for my son and me as well, because when we used to have like Disney passes, which Disneyland is just like honestly like a 15-minute drive from my house, and the highlight was like collecting the Smash pennies. And so we had like an app that let us know where all of them were, and so then he still has them in a little like Disney folded book, so he's got them like archived in there. But every so often, like when we've gone after having passes, he either brings it up like before or after. He's like, damn, we should have got a Smash penny. And I'm like, yep, you know? And so it's one of those nice things that the Smash penny still lives on, even though it's like, why am I paying $1 for a fucking penny to get ruined?
I was always impressed with how easy it was to crank the machine to smash the penny. It was so effortless. The amount of torque they put in there to like just smush that penny down to nothing.
Right.
That's what always got me.
It's engineering and science, baby.
I think
those big old gears.
I think it was only easy for you, Lunch, because you used your 13-year-old arm. That summer was good for you.
I was an early developer, so I had like a year and a half worth of experience at that point.
Yeah. And when your son is ready to sell some stuff for some beats, I'm ready to buy those pennies from you.
Yeah, we talked about that the other day too, and I'll get into it a little bit later. But he was like, he's been pressing me to get these fucking wraps off real hard. So we'll talk about that in a few. Now, I do have a question for Lunchbox over here. How did you become Lunchbox?
So I went to a new high school, 10th grade. So my grandmother had custody of me growing up. Mm-hmm. And then she signed custody of me over to my dad when I was like 8th grade, because the hospital she worked at closed down and she was forced into retirement. And so they needed me to go on my dad's health insurance. So my dad got custody of me, but I stayed living with my grandmother 8th, 9th grade. But then my dad moved to a different city, and he didn't want to help continue to pay for me to go to Catholic high school because the costs were rising, and then I had siblings in school and stuff. Mm-hmm. So at that point, because he had custody of me, he basically forced me to move in with him and go to public school in his new city. So I had met some new friends and stuff, and at the time, a lot of them were really into Clerks.
Okay.
And Jay and Silent Bob were the characters they all really liked. And one of the nicknames that Jay calls Silent Bob in the movie was Lunchbox. And it was one of the first nicknames that anyone ever tried to give me that I didn't absolutely hate. Uh-huh. So I just embraced it.
Can we hear some of the ones you hated?
Yeah, I am curious.
Novocaine.
Oh, come on, Lunch.
It works, bro.
Yeah,
Well, but I want to know, like, why were you Novocaine? Because, like, I mean,
Can't-
were you just
can't
were you
put-
put
Can't
When you
put that
put-
out there. That's too close to real things. So I know why it's Novocaine, but we'll tell you in post.
Yeah, you can tell me later. But let me speculate for a minute. I mean, it could be, you're putting fools to sleep, physically,
Oh man,
or
that's such a great name.
or
man.
you tell stories and you're wild boring. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, fucking, here comes Novocaine, about to go to
I'll
sleep.
say
on
this: my basketball teammates try to give me that nickname.
All right, okay. What's another one? Give us one more.
I mean, after that, it was mostly just fat related things,
Okay.
like blob or anything like that. And
Yeah.
no kid wants to embrace that.
No, not at all. But Novocaine, though, man, that's pretty tight. Go around calling you Kane. Shit.
I was close to accepting that one, but I didn't stick with it.
It's just so funny. Like, I'm gonna come up with which one is the one I hated? Oh, the one that was cool as fuck.
Right.
I
think
the one that I want to call you from now on.
I'm just saying, you have a Cadillac now. So today, as of this episode, your ass is Novocaine.
It was a lot better than the other one they used to call me a lot, which was No Sack.
Oh, shit. I'm assuming it's football related and not testicle.
No, it was testicle related.
Ah, damn. So since we got you chatting right now, what have you been up to, Lunchbox? Novocaine?
So we'll probably talk about this a little bit on our show in a couple of days, but I took a weekend trip with T on Saturday, a little day trip.
Oh, shit.
And it was funny because I'm usually the one who does all the planning for the trips that I take, like with my buddies. Like T was with me and one of my other buddies that all people here aren't aware of. And there was supposed to be this toy show down in Canton, Ohio. And I was like, oh man, I'll go to that. Because I haven't been out of the house a lot in the last 2 years, if we're being quite honest. Like the pandemic, I stayed here pretty much. There were months where I didn't leave the house.
Yeah.
And so I've never been like COVID afraid. So now that things are opening up and people are more accepting of the fact that I don't want to walk into a place with a mask on, I'm cool with going out a little bit more, doing some stuff. So I was like, let's go to this toy show. It was only $5 to get in, whatever. So I picked up T. We drove down there and did the parking lot, and there's only like 4 cars and it's like dead looking. I'm like, what the hell? So, and my one buddy's like, did you Google the right place? And I'm like, yeah, I got the address right off their website. And he goes, yeah, you had to get it right. You're never wrong. And I'm like, I'm 99% right, usually. And then like we're sitting there and he pulls up the website and he goes, this is on Sunday. And I'm like, what? I open up the website and I'm like, damn right. Today's Saturday. This is tomorrow. So I drove us an hour away from home to go to a toy show a day before the toy show was supposed to happen. But luckily, we turned the day into a fun little adventure. We had some brunch, did some shopping. I actually ate the bundt cake today, like with my dinner that we bought when we were in that shop. So
is it one of the pretty good? The mini bundt cakes?
Yeah. What was it? What was the name of the place, T? Bundt something.
It's specifically a place that sells little mini bundt cakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like out here we have a couple. We have like nothing bundt cakes. And
that was it.
I think it's that.
Okay.
That was it.
Those are delicious. Nothing bundt cakes is my favorite. We have bunts on Melrose as well over here. They're pretty tasty, but nothing bundt cakes. Those are fucking phenomenal. They're so moist.
Yeah, I got 2 little ones, and then I finally ate one tonight. It was strawberries and cream. It was like a limited flavor. So good.
Damn, strawberries and cream. That sounds delicious.
Yeah. But so we got some bundt cakes. We went to around here they have what's called the Exchange, which is like a video game store, toys, records, that kind of place where people bring in stuff, sell stuff.
Nice.
So we went to a couple of those. Went to like a world. What's the grocery store? World Market.
Yes.
Hit a little Asian market as well. Saw an ambiance store for lovers. Didn't go in. Kind of sad about that. But yeah, had a nice little day. Came home, watched some WrestleMania, ate some pizza. So got out of the house. It was just nice to get out of the house.
Yeah.
I've been inside so much, and I don't like going out all the time. Like I'm very much a homebody introvert, but I do like getting out for a nice day trip every now and again, spend some time with my buddies, seeing some stuff. So it's nice.
No, that's really cool. And I think, one, making the transition because, again, I do listen to the show regularly and it being stuck at home, it's like you forget how much you can do, how much you can see outside. And we get so comfortable with like, this is my day to day, this is my schedule, like this is what I kind of stick to, that we get into the routine. And I've kind of been like similar too, where just recently have really like I'm like, I'm out. I'm fucking out in these streets, like going wild.
I think sometimes too, it's easy to forget just how to do normal basic things.
Yeah.
Like we parked over by the spot where we got brunch at after we realized my blunder. And like, it was like a 45-minute wait for a table. So it was in kind of a shopping plaza. It was this breakfast spot. And we decided to walk across the plaza to go to the Marshalls after we put our names on the wait list. And I hadn't had to cross the street with cars in quite some time. So like we're crossing and I'm trying to remember how to play Frogger to get across, and then I'm starting to wonder, I'm like, what else do I not remember how to do exactly?
Right. No shit. Yeah, that shit's crazy. Now, we just got our other Cadillac member in here, Delvin, who was probably trying to do some other bullshit podcast, but fuck that. He needs to be over here. And so, which I'm glad to have Lunchbox, aka Novocaine, on this episode, because let me tell you, in this fucking Twitter like chat we have, it was Delvin and fuck Mike Fowler for the longest amount of like, you guys, why didn't you guys set another fucking like message thread to talk about WrestleMania? My shit.
That's literally what I was about to talk about. I had to put the motherfucking chat on snooze 2 nights in a row. Yeah, because a goddamn WrestleMania. I was like,
these we're going hard on WrestleMania. Where I was like, listen, no.
Look here, you can't deny me my pleasure.
Hey, you know what? Number one, relax.
Stone Cold came back. Vince McMahon, 192-year-old ass, came back and wrestled. It was lit.
Hey, man, you guys were chatting so hard where I was like, I think these guys are about to nut. Like the way you guys were hyped up, I was like, this is on another level. So Novocaine, was WrestleMania on another level?
Here's what I'll say. For me, I practically gave up on WWE a year ago.
Everyone did.
Yeah,
it's all about like AEW.
Facts.
AEW has drawn me in, and I do watch them every week. I was a WWE guy for the longest, and WWE started to feel like Big Bang Theory to me, where like I started out and I loved Big Bang Theory, and then before I knew it, I was like 6 seasons deep, and I was only watching it because I felt like I had to, not because I enjoyed it anymore. And so there was just one day where I just realized like I'm just not enjoying this. Why am I continuing to put myself through this every week for hours at a time? And I just stopped. I got through WrestleMania last year. I maybe watched 2 Raws after, and then I quit. I still follow stuff from time to time. Like I'll read the dirt sheets. I'll see people's stuff on Twitter, but I stopped watching Raw. I stopped watching SmackDown. I stopped watching NXT. I stopped watching all the pay-per-views. One exception is I do watch Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, even if I'm on my current hiatus, will always be the 2 things that I watch every year because I love those so much.
Yeah, they are the best of the best.
Well, this answered a question for me because I was like, has WrestleMania not been active for a few years? Is that why these guys have their fucking dick on hard over here? Because I was like, this must have like not existed for a while. But no shit, they really were.
Well, the thing is, like, we grew up in a really kind of a golden age of wrestling in the late 90s with the Attitude Era. And there's been stars over the years, but nothing that compares to how much people love Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock and guys from that era. And so we're kind of in a transitional time right now with WWE, where a lot of the people that have come up haven't risen to that level of stardom. So if you have a giant event and it's full of people that like half the people really don't give a shit about, that level of excitement is just not there.
Yeah, you don't have the draw.
Yeah, so when you tell me that like 58-year-old Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to come do a talk show segment, you're like, okay, you got my attention.
Yeah.
You know, because like at least you're going to get some beer and you're going to get some old man stunners at the very least. Now they ended up turning it into something that was more than that, and it actually turned out pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So I give him credit for that. Now, as a man who had I didn't even know the card for most of the show going in. Like my buddy was telling me the card in the car 15 minutes before WrestleMania Night 1 started.
You're like in real time.
Yeah, I was learning what was happening like in real time. So going into it, not having any expectations, because I think that was another one of my downfalls, is that I would get so attached to certain characters, and then they would just absolutely bury them, shit on them, release them, that I was like, why am I getting so emotionally attached into the development of people that are never going to reach any sort of success level that it's going to be worthwhile, or you're just going to outright let them go?
Yeah.
So going into it, not having any expectations, not having any emotional investment, just watching the show for what it was an enjoyable time, both nights. Yeah. I think night 2, maybe more so to some degree, but night 1 more so to some degree. Night 2 was still enjoyable. The main event, I think, was a letdown overall. I think they needed to do a little something more with that to kind of send the whole weekend off with a bang. But overall, it was an enjoyable 2 nights of wrestling. So I'll give WWE its credit. They did a very good job bringing someone in it and giving them something that I feel like was worthwhile for my time.
First and foremost, Chaffer, you motherfucking hating.
Yeah.
WrestleMania was great. Motherfucking Cody Rhodes.
No, but was that a lot of messages?
I told you I had to go in and find a way to shut that shit down. I was like, do I need to leave this group?
Yeah, I was about to.
But luckily, I found it had a basically a pause option. So I put that bitch on an 8-hour pause.
I was about to Tim Hines myself, and I'll talk about that a little bit later too. Fuck you, Adam Nutter, you little bitch.
First and foremost, this WrestleMania, nobody gave a fuck about till it happened. The only thing people cared about was 2 things in this whole mania. Stone Cold Steve Austin coming back and doing something. They didn't, because typical WWE, they didn't tell us what the fuck they want to do. They just said, Stone Cold's going to be here for a talk show. Like, what the fuck does that mean? What does that even mean? Stone Cold's coming for a talk show. Who gives a fuck about that? Little did we know it's going to be an actual match. And the second, and probably more importantly at the time, they're like, hey, Seth Rollins is going to have a mystery opponent. And for those who know, Seth Rollins is like one of the top guys in WWE. And everybody knew the mystery opponent was going to be Cody Rhodes, who defected from AEW, who's like one of the biggest stars in AEW, coming back to WWE to kind of face Seth Rollins. And the fact that it actually happened, and this, because, back in the day, those wrestlers who used to watch wrestling back in the day, when somebody came from WCW to WWE, they came to WWE with this like ridiculous name, like Dusty Rhodes came to WWE. He wasn't Dusty Rhodes. He came with the dumbass polka dots and stuff like that. Ron Simmons came from WCW and became Farouk for the Nation of Domination. No, they brought Cody Rhodes into WWE as fucking Cody Rhodes with the whole ridiculous pyrotechnics, because Cody Rhodes is cool. Cody Rhodes' whole thing is this. He's a good guy, but he's like Homelander. If you watch The Boys. Is
Cody Rhodes like a son of somebody?
Son of Dusty Rhodes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. He literally dresses like Homelander from the Boys. Okay. With his big, and the way he comes to the ring is so ridiculous. It's awesome. For one, it's like 1,000 fireworks going off at the same time. And he rises from the bottom of the stage like Jesus of Nazareth. like the stage opens up and it's a whole bunch of smoke, and he just rises from the bottom of the stage to the top, and then walks down like with nothing but like fireworks, like a 4th of July display. And so this is just for him to come out and wrestle.
Like, where if you were his homeboy, you'd be like, "Hey, you're doing a lot."
Yeah, and it's intentional. It's so ridiculous, but it's so cool at the same time. Like they spend like. We got $100,000 to spend. We're gonna spend on fireworks for this dude's entrance.
But I'll say this: like, as much as that's like sounds real like insane and corny, like that's the wrestling I enjoy. Is
Yes.
when it's like over the top, ridiculous, like theatrical. It's like, yeah, I've only been to the one AEW event, and it was like that. And I was like, this is fucking brilliant. Like I
Yes.
want it to be so like hyper real, like just I want it to be. I want it to be flagrant and ignorant. Like that's
Yes.
how I want my wrestling.
I agree. And that's kind of what this night was. It was a lot of fun. It was enjoyable. And if you're a WWE fan, and you know it's been hard. Being a WWE fan is like being a Lakers fan this year. You expect the Lakers to do a lot, and you're like,
you know they're a good team. They got some stars. They got a lot of bricks.
yeah. Like I said, yeah, y'all got LeBron James, but it's not working. So, that's how it kind of feels being a WWE fan this year. Like, yeah, you got LeBron, but you got everybody else. So it's kind of rough. So you don't expect WrestleMania to be good. And the fact that it was probably better than good, like they had a match with Johnny Knoxville fighting somebody, and the match was actually good.
Yeah, Sami Zayn sold his ass off in that match. I'm someone who doesn't personally care about Jackass.
I don't either.
But that match ended up being one of the most entertaining things of the entire weekend.
Chaffee, there's one part that you have to see in this match that happens. It's one of the most funniest shits I've ever seen on TV. There's a part where Sami Zayn is outside and he's going towards Johnny Knoxville, and a huge fucking hand slaps him like Rick James.
Like the ones they use in Jackass. The big slap hand.
It slaps the shit out of him. Like Rick James slapping Charlie Murphy. It is the funniest shit. It is great.
Yeah.
It's such a ridiculous match.
Aside from that thread, what I mean, even just in my general like timeline, people were fucking hyped for that WrestleMania. And I think it really like you guys were saying, it was like low to no expectation really caught people off guard. Because they were just like, it's going to be a thing, whatever, I'll watch it. And then when it like turned into this fucking like insane event, and what I kept seeing was it was like not just one match. It was like, did you see this? Did you see that? Oh, fuck, this is happening. Now this is happening too. It was just unfolding in a way that I don't think any of the viewers expected.
Exactly.
So that was really, really exciting. Like it was one of those things where I was like, damn, I kind of wish I was watching this. But then I think I was just spending the weekend getting faded, so I didn't watch it.
That's not a bad thing.
But
to be honest, if it wasn't on Peacock and I didn't get Peacock for free, I probably wouldn't have watched it.
Yeah.
But the fact that I get Peacock for free, I'm like, I might as well turn it on. And I was surprised. It was so good. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, I get Peacock for free too. That's just tight. Shout out to Delvin.
Yeah, I ended up watching the Raw after WrestleMania, which is usually like the most entertaining Raw of the year. And I left that going, okay, I'll see you in January for Rumble. I'm good.
Exactly. That's just how that turned out.
Yeah. Though I did I have like, I mean, I got a lot of cousins. I'm Mexican, so we got many. But I have one in particular who is like my main dude. And back in the day, he was like a big wrestling guy. To this day, his fucking idol is still fucking not Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Balboa.
Balboa.
So this fool will be out here like quoting Rocky, like if it's like the morning those phrases, people motivational phrases and shit.
Man, that's how winning is done is one of the most iconic speeches of all time.
Yeah. But so I was telling, he hasn't watched wrestling in a while, and back in the day he used to watch a ton. And so I was telling him about like AEW and just like kind of like the theatrics, the ridiculousness of it. And he was like, oh, we need to find out when it's in LA because we are gonna fucking go. And so even seeing how this WWE went, I was like, so we going or what? Like, you gotta enjoy these fucking events. I mean, they're amazing. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. If you and Mike would make another chat group, that would be much appreciated.
No, thank you.
Man, shut up. Now, Delvin, since you're still over here smacking your lips like a motherfucker on the screen, number one, what you snacking on? Number two, what you been up to?
I'm eating an oatmeal cream pie.
Oh,
If you know me, I love cream pies.
Whoa, relax.
Man, what kind of show you got me on, T?
Damn. I mean, who doesn't love a good cream pie? But I'm just saying.
Yeah, man.
That's not the category I clicked on.
Yeah.
They're filling.
Whoa.
They taste great.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
They go down smooth, man.
Easy.
Yo.
Easy. Yeah, this is delving after dark, huh?
I showed the oatmeal cream pie on screen. People, relax. It's not that type of party yet.
Delvin
you
Cox
said
with a K.
Oatmeal's what he calls brown women. Just watch out.
No.
That might be accurate.
Delvin, what do you think of it? Did you try the oatmeal cream pie cereal?
Think I have. That might be really good.
No.
No, it wasn't.
That was
Oh, that's
no.
disappointing. That was really anticlimactic. Like, no, it wasn't.
Like,
It was upsettingly bad.
The ice cream was good. The oatmeal cream pie ice cream.
I mean, that sounds good.
Now, was it the Little Debbie one that you had, the ice cream?
Yes, the ice cream is
I
pretty
think the
good.
kids got it. I don't remember if they liked it or not. Because I know we got the oatmeal. I think it was the oatmeal, the zebra cake, and another one. The Swiss roll.
Yeah, we tried the. So a friend of mine had posted some pictures on Instagram. Like, yeah, I got all the ice creams from Walmart. So I was like, which Walmart? And I go up there, and they don't got fucking none of them. They sold out. They only got
Well, he did say he bought all the ice cream.
Tell you.
I told you I bought all the ice cream.
They had like the fudge round kind of left, and I was like, that was it. But later on, I got to try the jelly roll, the honey bun, and the oatmeal cream pie.
Those are ice cream flavors?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
You are very much online. How have you missed this,
Yeah.
Dale?
They had the Christmas tree one out during Christmas time
the
too.
Christmas tree.
I feel like there's a whole fat Twitter that I don't know nothing about. It's just
Okay.
you having these flavors and stuff on it. I have
can't-
never heard of any of this
This
stuff.
is on Fetstagram.
Yeah, I can't speak on other Walmarts, but I can say the Walmarts out here, they're not in the main ice cream case. They're on the doors on the
The
side.
end caps, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the display caps.
Mhm.
I've
yeah.
never seen these.
But still in the ice cream. Hey, you're fucking up, Delvin. And you shop at Walmart.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I've never seen any of these.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
Honey
and-
bun ice cream?
Yeah.
Man, I wish I could I could probably dry ice you some, send you some if I see some more because I know where to get some dry ice from now. So
Why you need dry ice?
because it's ice cream.
It's gonna send me a cup of soup.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to back it up because he said it like if he had already had a plan in place where he's like, hey, listen, I know where to get dry ice. I'm like, well, you sending body parts? The fuck?
Like he's Dexter.
He's like, I'm about to ship you a kidney.
Yeah, I was so we had I guess a family outing on Saturday, and we went to Dewey's Tea. We got some pizza, and then we voted ice cream. We were split, so half the family wanted to go to Ben and Jerry's, the other half wanted to go to a local place we have called Mitchell's Ice Cream. So first we went to, of course, we went to Dewey's, and then like it was funny. We walked past this pizza place called Pizzazz, and it seemed like all the families was having like so much fucking fun in this pizza place. It's like, oh, look at these salads. I'm like, God damn. I said this to myself because of course it's like we already had just had pizza 10 minutes ago, and I was like, man, look at all those sides and shit they got. Dewey's ain't got no sides. and like everybody in there was like, crip walking and having fun in there.
Oh,
and I'm
shit.
like, oh man. And then my partner like, yeah, we should have went there. I was like, yeah,
That just
next
sounds
time.
like Chuck E. Cheese on the West Coast, man. My wife just had a conversation with the kids where they were talking about wanting to go to Chuck E. Cheese. And she's like, there's some neighborhoods like this one that we were in. She's like, you don't go to that Chuck E. Cheese.
No.
They were like, why? They're like, she's like, because they have a lot of fights. Like they serve beer heavily. And then people get into fights because they're from different neighborhoods. So
Yeah,
you said they're crip walking and having fun. I'm like, yes.
It's crazy. Chuck E. Cheese is a wonderful place.
Bullshit.
It might not be wonderful on Saturdays and Sundays,
or Mondays or Tuesdays,
or Fridays after 5. But look, when you go to Dave and Buster's, like, if you want to play the skee ball, it's gonna cost you 9.6 coins. Not at Chuck E. Cheese, it is 1 coin.
Yeah,
it may cost you getting shot.
Yeah, that's true too. You might
can play skee ball.
I mean, I don't know. Like we know where a safe Chuck E. Cheese is. I don't know if it's any safe Chuck E. Cheeses where you live, but
no.
Are you guys old enough to remember when Chuck E. Cheese was like dark and thematic?
I remember when
we
had
elaborate Showbiz Pizza down south where I was at.
Okay, so similar to Showbiz.
Yeah, it was the same thing. It was Showbiz Pizza where a kid could be a kid. They had the same thing, and when Chuck E. Cheese ended up buying the leftover show business, they just integrated that shit into their marketing scheme.
So Dixon Cheese.
So to kind of answer Delvin's question, so it'd be like you went in. They were like, you know how Chuck E. Cheese now is pretty much like one room, right?
Yes.
This was like little small rooms. So then you had the main room that had the stage and the tables, but then there might be a small room that was like a swamp theme, or you might have another room that was just black lights, or you'd have like each room was different themes, and it was fucking arcade stuff all over the place.
I remember that, and they had like the stage with the Five Nights at Freddy type thing.
Yeah, and then under the stage was always the little fucking strobe light room, and so that shit was crazy. But like, yeah, that was like back in the day when I was a kid and we would go to Chuck E. Cheese. So it was still an arcade and not so much a like a kid's fun center like it is now. But we had Showbiz out here as well. And Showbiz and like PJ's Pizzazz or something. Like we had like 3 of them. And those were back in the day, that shit was a lot of fun. We also had one of those fucking it was like a Malibu Grand Prix, and it was attached to it was like called the Showboat, and the shit was literally like, you know, the fucking like those Mississippi fucking steamboat type of things with the big wheel.
Riverboats.
Yeah, the riverboats. But inside the riverboat was just like 3 floors of fucking arcade cabinets, and
that sounds cool.
It was spectacular. I was like, man, if you didn't grow up in like the golden age of arcades, you're missing out. Like that shit was magical.
Yeah, we had here 3 things. We had Chuck E. Cheese, which you might get killed at.
Alligator Alley.
We also had Grand Prix Racerama, which was cool because it was just a big ass arcade, and outside it had a giant ass racetrack that just went fast as fuck, and people was crashing all the time on that. But that was fun, you know, risking your life. And then we had something called Dandy Bear, and Dandy Bear was bootleg Chuck E. Cheese, but boring and trash. Like if your parents took you to Danny, but they didn't like you. They didn't like you at all. Like even like the theme song of Dandy Bear was garbage. The theme song was just "I love Dandy Bear, please have my party there," and it would just keep going on and on.
Not even bars.
I don't know. That sounded hot to me.
Depressing as shit.
So if you went to Dandy Bear, I'm gonna assume that guaranteed your family did not have McDonald's money.
Exactly. Y'all didn't have the 29 cents for a hamburger and the 39 cents for a cheeseburger.
No,
y'all was broke.
God damn. Now, Delvin, since I have you on, one, not because of you, but one, T has been slandered and I have been hurt because my son, which I actually really, really like the purpose. One of my big purposes behind podcasting is to kind of have an archive, right? So that the kids have something to listen to, maybe hopefully down the road. I don't push it on him. I'm not like, listen to this, you know, but he's been listening lately. Like he's been caught up. And this motherfucker told me, hey, can you talk less? You and the other guy, can you talk less? Because I want to hear more Delvin. Because Delvin has crazy stories. And I want to hear about his crazy stories. Which also, I will say this, he did call you a broke boy.
I probably am.
Because when
that's accurate, Gavin.
Because his favorite story right now is when you went to the hotel and then you paid for dinner, and he was like, but don't you like pay that much when we go out sometimes? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, is he poor? I was like, fucking relax.
Yes. The answer, Gavin, is yes. I am broke. I am not paying $200 for one plate of food.
Yeah.
No,
So,
I am a poor person.
So for my son, he would love to hear, basically this is Cadillac on Mars featuring Delvin Cox, according to my son. That's how he would prefer it. Because he said he needs more Delvin all the time. Which also sucks too, because my wife also says that she loves to hear T tell stories. So what I'm hearing,
Whoa, that is far worse than being like, I want to hear Delvin.
Yeah.
Your wife asking for tea?
Yeah, well, because she's just like, he seems like a nice guy. I think we agree with each other politically.
Oh my God.
And then I'm like, the fuck is up with you guys?
I'm uncomfortable here.
I pay these goddamn bills, you know?
I think you guys need to workshop that name, like maybe like Cox and Cream Pies or something like
Whoa. Whoa. You know what? Show title. Let me write this down. Right now.
We can't be talking about man's wife and talking about Cox and cream pies. This shit does not play out like
this
you
is
think it does.
wild.
I don't think this is one your son can listen to.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen. You met my son. He's on that fool's on another level right now. But so Delvin, why don't you hit us with? I know you got stories, man. What's going on in your life? My son needs this.
I don't know. This has been a good week, man. My birthday. I'm old as fuck now.
You went to Orlando, right?
No, I go to Orlando this week.
Oh, you go to Orlando this week.
This last week on my birthday, I went to the mall and ignored my. Let me explain. No, I did the old man thing.
Relax. You need to stop dreaming so big.
Yeah, I went to the mall because I was getting stuff to because I'm packing and then, I've been out of town forever. So I went to go buy shoes and stuff like that. And apparently I realized going to the mall, these shoes are trash. Like I was this close to buying a pair of Vans because I went to Sawgrass Mills and they had all these outlets and none of the shoes fit me. They were literally selling some Duck Dynasty looking motherfucking Jordans. They were like, they were low top Jordans, right? They weren't camouflage. They were like mud colored and white. But the mud looked like actual mud. I'm like, they're like, oh, these are on sale $65. I'm like, they should be cheaper than that because these are some bullshit.
Like, are you familiar with these?
So, I'm not. I know what he's talking about, but I don't know what the exact model of them. But the interesting times we live in with shoes is that, like, when you go to a mall or a store, they have no shoes anymore.
Yeah, they don't. That's what I ran into.
Like when you like they already like put it in the news about how Foot Locker isn't going to be getting Nikes or Jordans anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when you go to like an outlet or something like that, it's not going to be the same anymore. Like they want you to buy online. Yeah. And then like when you go in, like we went school shopping for our kids. And it was just like all trash. It's none of the stuff you want, none of the sizes you want. Just measure my kids' feet so I can go to the internet.
Yeah, exactly. It was terrible. I could not find a single shoe, and there was nothing but outlet stores there.
Yeah, and that's a real truth though, because we had to take when I was ordering shoes for my daughter, the ones she specifically wanted were online. Eventually, we ended up having to take her to a store to get measured. Not to get shoes, to get measured. Like that's like I'm like I need to buy a fucking foot measurer and just keep it in my house because what's the point? And then to bring it back around too, my son wanted some because right now he's going through his I'm hard phase. So
Black Air Force Ones.
He wanted black Air Force Ones, and so he needed that black Air Force energy, and can't find those in the store. Like I was like, okay, cool. I'll just call Foot Locker, see if they got them in his size. No, we don't got them in stock. No, we don't carry them. But if I went online, everyone got them. Like Foot Locker online has them, just not in store. Like you really are like pushed on the outside, and so you go in to get fucking measured. Like that's it. So tell us more about your mall experience. I know you're out here living large, going to food courts and shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I went to the food court. I was walking around. I was having a blast, man. Because I realized this as I get older. Going to the mall by yourself is kind of lit. Like with nobody around you, asking you want to go to dumbass places that you want to go to.
Right.
The kids stayed at home. Nah, this was great. I went to one of the mall dudes. He gave me a massage. I was happy. Like, hey, I paid the little $10.
Did you get your shoes shined up too? Because they'd be out here like, hey, you want those shoes to look brand new? Yes.
Every 5 feet they're walking up to you, trying to sell you some shit. Like, hey, want to shine your glasses up? Or when they shine your glasses up, then they just spray you in the eyes and shit. Like, why are you spraying me in the fucking eye?
Delvin left the mall with like 4 different scents and all shiny from just being lotioned up the whole time.
just spraying you with random shit. Like, yo, what are you doing?
It's like, I don't even want this. Not at all.
You gotta push them out the way, like on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Get out of my way, spraying that shit.
Yeah, man.
So what's in Orlando though?
Peace and quiet. That was in Orlando.
And that's why.
Yeah, that too. I felt like I need to take a break, and the only way I can truly get a break is if I'm away from everybody.
Okay.
If I'm 4 hours, because Orlando's like 3-4 hours away.
I was about to ask how far.
If I'm 4 hours away from everybody, they can't call to ask me for help. They can't call to ask me for favors.
Mm-hmm.
They can't call to ask me shit. So I figured, why not just go to Orlando by myself, rent a car, go out to Orlando, just chill out and have a blast. And I realized, hey, I'm going out there by myself, so I could probably just go to Universal Studios and chill out for a little bit. And since I'm by myself, I probably get on all the rides and be done by 12. Because single rider, don't have to worry about.
Oh, that's true. And you get that perk a lot when they're like, we need one. You're like,
here you go.
I'm right here.
So it's kind of lit. I'm kind of excited to do this, man. Like,
you know what you need to do is you need to take like a flag with you or something. So when they call for this single rider, you're just like, this guy. Exactly.
So I'm excited, man. I haven't been out of town like by myself in forever.
Yeah.
Like since once you have kids and a wife or now ex-wife, it's kind of over. Like, everything's like doing things with the family and stuff like that, and kind of experiencing that stuff, and kind of cool to be like, I get to go do this for myself and go have fun. And so I'm super excited just to go out of town and do what I want to do. No matter wherever I end up in Orlando, is where I end up.
You know what? That sounds like a nice mental health self vacation. So
yeah, I think I honestly need it. Yeah,
good.
Get away.
I know in general you do give a lot of yourself to everyone, even beyond your family. So I'm glad you're doing. We talked about this, I think, last time we did. So tell me, and I was like, you gotta take time for yourself. Like, you gotta take care of you. So I'm glad you're doing that. That makes sense.
And I think that's exactly what this is. Just me taking care of myself for once and going out there, getting out in the world, going out to Orlando, renting a hotel and just seeing what happens. Like, waking up in the morning, like, I ain't got to do nothing today. That's a good thing. Or waking up and saying, you know what, I'm going straight to the comic book shop down there, because they have some cool comic book shops down there.
Yeah.
Just seeing what I find. I messaged him and he said some weird shit like, I don't know about this anymore. he was like, I'm like, hey, Lowe's, I was like, Lowe's, you want to come meet all I know? He's like, are you asking me on a date? I'm like, never mind, Lowe's. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to meet it with you anymore. I'm cool.
I don't know. He might give it up. When in Rome. Hey, Los does cook. He does like to bake and fucking barbecue. So
yeah, he might come to my house, come to the hotel and start making muffins and shit.
You know what? I'm done with you.
Yeah.
You got too many innuendos. He might come through with them cakes. I'm like, what? Anyways.
Cakes and pies.
Oh. So T, what's up with you, man? What you been up to? We haven't chatted much lately. I know I've been fucking head in the ground working hard, but what's going on, man?
That's been the vibe, man. It's been actually very, very quiet, very peaceful around these parts. I'm just getting ready for my kid. Is a senior, so all these senior things I didn't have to come out of pocket for. I just paid for his prom, which will be coming up here soon, and so forth. And it's very much. Box told you story. Me and Box hung out this weekend and got, Novocaine.
Novocaine.
Get it right. We kicked it this weekend and so forth. And you know what I do, bro. I play video games. That's what we talk about.
And we're gonna hold on the video game stuff till the end.
I got you. So, but I just been it's been very relaxing. Oddly enough, been very relaxing to me.
Mhm.
Other shit goes on in the manner that has to be addressed and worried about and so forth. But yeah.
Now, I do want to talk to you about the delivery you received today and about the show because we went as well. So tell us about it.
Very good. So when oh yeah, I guess it's been a while since we have not been able to talk about this because it occurred in March, like the middle of March. Me and my kid drove up to Toronto to go see Tyler the Creator's "Call Me If You Get Lost" tour, and I bought them tickets a long time ago, and I bought real good tickets because I know basically because the Canadian dollar is always, imagine if you will, always having a 25 to 40% off sale.
Yeah,
that's what it is to go spend money in Canada usually. Now, now, who knows what's going on? But because of that, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna buy these good tickets. So I bought really good tickets that included a VIP package. And that just basically meant, for what I took it to mean is, we get to get in early, slide in through a little side door, which we did. We got to skip the line for merch, which we did, and we had nice seats. But apparently, as part of the VIP package, VIP, we'll throw quotes around that, I got some merch, and they said basically a VIP kit to both me and my kid. I mean, one box, but you know what I'm saying, basically doubles with everything. Came with a pair of socks, like very nice looking socks. It came with a stamp, and when I say stamp, I mean an ink.
Yeah, like a rubber stamp.
Yeah. It came with a patch. Shit, what else? Just pull the
VIP up. Like laminate.
A VIP lanyard and like,
was it enamel pins? You get pins as well?
Oh, thanks. My kid actually brought me the stamp. Lanyard came with a little placard, whatever the hell you want to call it. But what I thought was so dope is it came with a really nice metal compass.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, check that out. It came with a pin too, you know what I'm saying? You know, a pin, like, pin on you, whatever. And I just thought it was so dope. A little kit, man. I was like, check that out. That's so swag.
Yeah. I have a question. Maybe I'm not knowing or anything or not hip to it. What does a compass have to do with Tyler the Creator?
Call me if you get lost. Because if you're lost, you need a compass.
So stamping oh shit, I can't get to do it. There it is. Stamping the ink pad that came with. It's very lovely. So I fuck with it, man. It just, and like I said, out of blue, I didn't realize it was a part of the package. I guess had I been reading my emails or the ticket information close, I would have known that was a thing. Because all of a sudden, I don't just get packages out the blue. Mm-hmm. I'm very aware of what's coming to my house to me and when and so forth and so on. So out of the blue package, scurry. Yeah. I was like, what is this? Why is my name on this? Where did this come from?
My wife and I went just this past Thursday.
Yeah.
And that we had a ton of fun. First off, like I was like, all right, we'll get there when we get there. It wasn't too far from the house, maybe like 30 minutes or some shit like that. And so then I was like, hey, something we like never do. I was like, you wanna pack a little cooler with like all your fancy seltzers, and we could just kick in the parking lot and drink up before the show. And at first, like when she kind of responded to me, I thought she was gonna say like, man, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, no way. And she was like, why have we never done this before? Like, yes. So we got faded in the fucking parking lot. Like, and then trying to like keep track of time. Ended up missing like we got in when it was like, was it Caliucci's? Yeah. So miss Vince Staples, super bummed. I've seen him like, no shit, I've seen Vince Staples maybe like 11 times. So it wasn't too bad for me, but my wife hasn't seen. And then for the other act, like we really weren't interested in Caliucci's. So we just like chilled outside, and as we were in the crypto arena, formerly Staples, then we were just like having some drinks in there, bought some merch. I got the Ramona Park black Vince Staples shirt, which is kind of like a hybrid because it's like call me if you get lost in Ramona Park. And I was like, oh, that's pretty tight. And then our seats were phenomenal because what Tyler did is he has the main stage where it's got the big backdrop of a house. And then he takes a boat to basically the opposite side of the arena, and then does the majority of the show like on an island. And our seats were just maybe like, I think it was like 15 rows off of the island. So we were right there, island. It was just like we had like front row. Like it was fucking amazing. That show was phenomenal. Like the theatrics were awesome. One of the little things that really, really got me was how, like when he wasn't on the boat didn't stop moving. And the boat also moved to almost like the theme of the music. So when the music was slow, the boat gently rocked. But when it went to like a more like active song or like high tempo song, that boat would fucking rock like crazy, even when he wasn't on it. And I was like, damn, he really like thought of everything. And
what kind of boat was this?
Wood, like cigarette boat. Yo, you remember the boat in Indiana Jones 3 that got crushed by the other boat, by the big boat because of the fellers? That boat.
Okay.
Yeah. So that show, it was amazing, dude. Like, and he played all the hits, he played all the jams. That concert was a party. Like people were having a good fucking time. And there really wasn't a moment where people like sat, where it's like, this is the slow spot. Let's go get some drinks. It was just like
that was me through all of Caliucci's set.
Yeah,
I did not stand at all. I sat and was like, "This is where I catch my breath after all jamming our hard to Vince Staples."
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, you see, and for us during the Caliucci's, we were like, we found our seats and then said, "Let's go continue drinking," and so then we did, and we had a good old time. It was great. So I am super happy that I got to go to that show. And just like one, my wife and I got the chance to get away and like have a good time. And then two, just to kind of not be on a schedule. You know what I mean? Where it was like, we have to see this. We have to see that. It was like, I will get there. We get there. As long as we see Tyler, then we'll be in a good place. So that was really, really cool. And then I'll kind of continue on. Like, I've just been on like nothing but adventures because then like the weekend before that, my wife and I went to like San Diego for the weekend because I know the last time I was on Stays Crunching Milk, I talked about her, I think, getting ready to do the LA Marathon, or maybe she had just done it.
She just done it.
Yeah. So then the following weekend we went to San Diego. My parents came down, picked up the kids, and we had a really, really good time because there's an area in San Diego called the Gas Lamp District, and pretty much it's just like maybe like 8 blocks of just restaurants and bars and clubs and shit like that. And our hotel was just like another block over from this. So everything was in walking distance. And so we pretty much just like started hanging out like in the early evening, eat at some place. We just like bounced around, went to like a couple speakeasies. One of them was really tight because they were like, you don't order drinks, you tell them your profile for the evening. So I was like, hey, I was outside. I was drinking like a version of like their old fashioned. And I was like, I'm really like in the mood for something a little maybe on whiskey dessert end, maybe like a s'more, maybe like this and that. And then the guy came back and was like, try this. And then my wife like described hers and he came back and these drinks were like on fucking point. And then from there, we checked out like a Latin area of San Diego called Barrio Logan. And if you're familiar with like Chicano history, there's a place called Chicano Park. And it's all these murals that are like done under the freeway. So we got to head out to Chicano Park and kind of check out that area. And then, like I said, we just had a really good time. Just the two of us hanging out. We went to one place that was called like Trailer Park After Dark. And it was legit, like it was under buildings. So you had to go like downstairs. And it was like a legit like trailer park themed like club. And yeah, my wife went a little too hard in there. She was partying like you could not believe. But like I said, we had a great time. Kind of fast forwarding a little after that, on Thursday was Tyler. On Friday, one group I really, really enjoyed is called Lightning Bolt. And it's just 2 dudes. One dude plays bass, the other dude plays drums. And his drumming is insane. Like he's one of the best drummers around.
Which one is Lightning? Which one is Bolt?
They're actually both named Brian.
God damn it.
And so met up with my buddy Steve that I hadn't seen in a while, and so that was like the complete opposite of the Tyler show because it was just in a really like small like venue where they typically host like quinceañeras, so just way different. So it's just like chilling there, having a good time. Got tickets for Gavin and I to go to the Poorly Tiled Smokers Club Fest, which is happening on April 30th. At first, I wasn't like, I was really interested in it because Schoolboy Q is doing like Oxymoron front to back. Danny Brown's going to be there. I'm a super fan of Danny Brown. Who else? There's like a bunch of artists that are going to be there. But recently, and this is where I was like, fuck, okay, yeah, I got to get tickets. They added Chief Keef. And Chief Keef is doing Finally Rich front to back. If you know anything about
Gavin might shoot up that whole concert.
Right, exactly. So at first he mentioned me, I was like, Chief Keef's not on there. And he goes, no, they added him. And I was like, ain't that a bitch? So then I'm like, okay. Because like, so I will say this. I feel like the relationship Gavin and I, we're in a different place right now where it's sort of changed from like, it still is a father-son relationship, but it's got a little bit of like he's asking questions. He's needing the mentoring. He also needs to be supported, and emotionally, supported. So we're having these like moments where like things are really good. Like when I went to go take him to get shoes the other day, man, we had that car turned up. Because side note, not only is he like wild about Chief Keef, I've learned that he is also wild about like old Waka Flocka. Like,
yeah, that's the jam. Yeah,
so, Quick Squad.
Right. So he's out here like O'Day, man. He's out here. He's bumping the fucking Waka. So I was like, you know what? Okay. So we had it going loud in the car. So we've just been like having a good time. And I was like, you know what? It's not like I'm going to this festival for just one band. There's actually a lot of acts I would like to see. And cherry on top, to get to see Chief Keef do Finally Rich, I mean, that's pretty tight. I was like, just in general, we got to go to this. So I got those tickets like last minute. And, now next steps for him. I did put some caveats on this boy because I do need to talk about his rap career. That was the other thing too. He said he wants me to talk about him more.
Okay, understandable.
So I did purchase his beat. I told him when I'm on spring break next week, I gave him some things to do. I said, I need you to practice your words. Like you're rapping to yourself in a small voice. I need you to use a big voice, like a strong voice. You can't be coming out here soft, fucking whispering into the mic. Like, which words do you want to emphasize? Which words do you want to pull back? Like, there's an art to this. And he's like, I got it. And I was like, no.
You gotta layer. You gotta layer his vocals like Tupac. Tupac didn't naturally sound like that.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
He got to do some studio tricks. He'll be okay.
Yeah. So he did ask me, he's like, so how do you get, like, he was basically asking like reverb and echo and things like that. And I was like, yeah, man, well, with as much as I know in Audacity, I think I can easily stitch it together. But so I just told him, I was like, you need to spend this week like practicing it. But then I also put caveats on there too. I was like, if you're going to act like an ass, I want you to know I bought the song, but I won't give it to you. And if you're not going to keep up your grades, know that I bought the beat. I'm not going to give it to you. Like, it's got to be something for something, But so we've been kind of like working on that. So I will say this, he has really, really been trying. He's been a lot less like argumentative. Situations that he's had at school lately have been towards him, not because of him. And so he's making some positive changes. He's really working on being less like combative. And really, I've been holding my ground with him too on like, I told you weren't going to get it. Like I told you, I was not going to give you this thing because you're not doing the thing I'm asking you to do, So it's that give and take in the relationship. But yeah, so we'll work on his song. So keep an eye out. It's going to be called 2022, I believe the name is going to be called. I did work on the front, the little bumper in the beginning. I'm going to have my daughter say it. And so because I was like, I need to draw Lucy in on this as well, It can't just be like a Gavin thing. Like, let's make this an everyone thing. So she's going to be the little hook in the front. And then on the flip side too, then I have my daughter. She's been doing well. She's out here living her life, hanging out with all her homegirls. They're constantly partying and going wild. Dealing with that girl drama business. That's just like something I don't get, and I try to support. And then I'm like, I'm just going to be like Homer in the hedge and just just fall back. Move. Yeah, because that is always an adventure. But all in all, I mean, I think from everyone in the room, it just sounds like we're all like in a good place. Just kind of trying new things, living life, and just breathing a little bit better, which is a good thing. But now I'm going to bring down the room.
Ooh, wait.
We go.
Because I got a serious thing to discuss. It's something that's been bugging me for a long time. So I'm going to address this. I need the world to change, and I need the world to know.
Ooh-wee. What up with that? What up with that? Ooh-wee. What up with that? What up with that? He said, she said, we said, me said, what up with that?
What the fuck is up with paper straws? I hate paper straws with a goddamn passion. Now, this conversation is not about fucking saving the turtles. That's not what I'm saying.
Fuck the turtles.
Well, what my son said? Turtles. My son said, fuck the turtles. And because you're saying fuck the turtles too, you're also saying fuck the trees. Because it takes 4 fucking paper straws to drink one drink. Because if you grew up in the paper pixie stick era, tell me, guys, you're drinking the pixie stick, what happens? Somebody tell me.
It just get all stuck up because of the fit. Yeah.
It gets all hard and crusty. Shit ain't good.
Okay.
Start breaking up and get paper in your mouth.
Delvin did not comment on anything anymore because my pixie sticks did not get hard and crusty. So pause.
Yes, they get hard and crusty. If you try to take the pixie stick to the, you might be snorting your pixie sticks. So I don't know what you're doing.
Man, you relax.
I did purple lines.
But it's like the fucking paper straw like starts to fall apart. It starts to melt. It starts to bend. And it's just like, you get to the point where it chokes because now it's collapsed. I'm like, who thought a fucking paper straw was a good idea? And then when I go to other like restaurants or pick up food, they sell the plant-based, or they give you the plant-based like biodegradable straw. Like, why can't we just go with those? We got the fucking straw that's biodegradable.
They cost more. You know why?
You know what? Are you bringing logic to this conversation? Are you bringing logic, sir?
Let me ask the question then.
Hold on, I'm about to mute him. He ain't talking anymore.
How do you feel about the Starbucks cups?
Oh, the have the plastic.
Yes,
I love them.
I like those too. I like those. They're better than those fucking straws. Those straws suck.
That's what I'm saying. You know what? Give me a sippy cup. I'm good with that. I don't mind being 4 years old. I'll live with it.
Or like buy yourself like a travel straw. I know
you're bringing logic too. About to mute you as well.
Yeah, straws are supposed to be free.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Novocaine?
I was gonna say, do the sippy cup thing, or if you're at a restaurant, they should just use metal straws.
Yeah. There
we go.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, wash them. That's a pretty good idea, Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not like you're taking their glassware out of the restaurant or whatever. They got to wash that when you use it anyway. Why not have metal straws on hand as part of like their silverware?
Right.
My son literally came home with a glass from Olive Garden the other night. So,
hey, but when you're there, your family, right?
I was gonna say that. So, you're your family. So this is my glass.
This is my glass.
Yeah. Whenever my partner sees, like, if she sees something like she likes, she's like, you got room.
Yo, you gotta chill. You can't even just talk that on a podcast.
Like,
people listen to this show.
Like, this fork right here.
Here we go. Oh my god.
Part of ours.
Oh my god. Stop telling on yourself on the podcast.
Right, hey, the feds are gonna come for you on the fork.
Yes. We told them where we come from. But this ain't my podcast. This y'all's.
That's true.
I can tell all my dirty crimes.
I accidentally stole a knife from the Airbnb we stayed at in Green Bay.
Oh my god!
Accidentally.
I mean, since we're just Go ahead.
I had used it to cut the cake that they gave us as like a gift for like renting their place. But when I did what every other piece of white trash does when they cut cake with a knife, I just left the knife in the box.
Put it back in the box.
Yeah. And then when we packed up to leave, I just grabbed the box with the cake. I didn't put the knife back.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, since we're giving ourselves up, I have a bowl, and I was like, I fucking love this bowl because it's not a large bowl and it's not a super tiny bowl. Like it's the right size bowl for like ice cream. And it's something I got from Claim Jumpers because that's how they used to serve their like French onion soup. And so when I couldn't finish my meal, I was like, hey, can I get a box? And then when I realized the box was large enough to fit the bowl, well, what went in there? The bowl.
Only heard of Claim Jumpers on the Doughboys, so that's interesting to hear about it from somebody else.
Yeah.
Well done.
And so I've now had that bowl for probably 20 years, and that bitch is going strong.
I am not admitting this shit. I don't know what y'all talking about. Nope.
It's crazy.
Delvin's whole house is fucking Denny's and Einstein's bagels.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Neon light.
I don't know what happened.
Open.
Ain't got shit to do with me. Even had that cop knock on my door. Hey, I heard Cadillac on Mars. Blow my luck. They'll come straight to me.
So it's kind of like when you go to a restaurant and you see like, oh, y'all ain't got those flat ass forks and spoons and shit. It's like, man, this is a nice restaurant. Like it's nice when they, put in that nice effort to, have
someone
nice
that you can steal.
Some shit that's a good souvenir. Like, baby, this is from our 5th day. Remember this?
Yeah. It's got that fork has some weight to it, maybe a little design. Doesn't feel like it's made out of like aluminum coated plastic. It's a good fork.
Or those little ranch cups.
That or if a place has their like name on it. Like there was a steakhouse in Florida where I wanted to take the knife because it was like a nice wood handle and it had their name on it.
Ooh.
But I was going to be on a flight and I didn't have the proper bagware to bring a knife.
Yeah, true. You can't.
Yeah. You don't want to do that.
Like a steak knife up your sleeve.
Yeah, you don't want to go on no plane with no knife, especially with that beard. They will make assumptions. Will make assumptions.
But he did say he was in Florida, so they would have been like, "Where's your gun?"
Baby.
Exactly.
You got a knife, but you also need a gun.
One of the greatest parts about the Walmart in Orlando is they have a huge section of shipping, like a whole shipping area, where like they know people like go there and they're only there to visit.
Oh, so you can buy like your rifle and ship it out.
Yeah, you can just ship it right home.
Well, yeah. I could tell this story. That's since you mentioned Walmart.
Also, people, just so you know, this show is not sponsored by Walmart, though we have mentioned Walmart a smooth like 8 times.
Yes. So me and my cousin, who will stay unnamed, we used to always go to Walmart, right? Every time we went, she would just grab like a handful of those like wipes and just take them with her. So one day, I'm seeing her grab a handful of wipes, like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, no, these are free for customers. Like, no, the fuck they're not. They sell those. Apparently.
Hey, if they're there for grabs, they're free for customers.
No, what was happening was at Walmart, they sell a big box of like glasses wipes and like cell phone wipes, but people keep opening the box up.
Oh,
and taking one at a time for themselves to just use them because they think they're free.
So
my cousin
basically made a sampler box out of them.
Yes. So my cousin assumed that they were free for everybody, so she was just grabbing a whole bunch of them, just taking them home. So, and she would do this every time. I'm like, those are not free. You're supposed to buy those.
I mean, did anyone say anything to her?
They didn't. Nope. Never got caught.
Yeah, they're just like, you know what? We're not going to die on this hill. Fucking take the wipes. Like, just fucking take them. But to kind of bring this a conversation around, paper straws, you can go eat 3 dicks. Just that's what I'm saying. Like, I got no time for paper straws. Let's make this not happen anymore.
They suck all the moisture out of your lips when you use them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, when you get fucking, you're like,
yeah, you get that like waxy, papery taste on your lips. You get a little chapped. They're no good. No good.
Yeah, and when you don't have lips like Chaffee, you need something.
Wow, that's okay. That's what we're doing, huh? That's what we're doing, Delvin. Okay.
Another hack is you can triple up, like get 3 of them instead of just 2. So then, like, you're drinking your drink faster, and there's not as compromise.
Yeah. I will say this, my son, I think we went to In-N-Out and they had plastic straws like in the bag. And this fool like immediately put them in the kitchen drawer because he was like, I'm saving these for the next time we get paper straws.
In-N-Out old churchy ass. Of course they give you plastic straws.
There
They
you
don't give
go.
a fuck
They
about
don't
the
care.
environment.
Right, exactly. They're like, you can pray on this shit.
Yeah.
So for any of the listeners, write your local mayor, congressman, district council person, let them know it's down with the paper straws, up with the biodegradables or alternative straw. Save the trees. I mean, turtles, what do? They carry salmonella. We don't need them. So
Yeah, that's true.
There's that. So we're gonna put that topic to sleep.
Before you put that to bed, I got an interesting but yet controversial thing that's happening here that happened other places.
All right.
So I got like an alert saying that our local stores, one of them, are getting rid of plastic bags later this month.
I was literally just about to bring that up.
So it was a conspiracy theory that was brought to my attention that they were saying, like, where those plastic bags are usually made.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying, like, so when COVID hit, all that went away. It was like, fuck that. We got to keep our plastic bags because we don't want people bringing in extra diseases and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying, like, that's what COVID is all made up because of the plastic bag conspiracy.
The plastic bag industry is behind it.
Yes.
God damn it.
Plastic out here.
Do you know what? There's a lot of fucking wild theories, man. People be tripping.
There's a lot of stupid people out there.
Yeah, that
We
is.
just can call a spade a spade. There's a lot of dumbass people out there.
Yeah, straight up.
They'll believe
straight
anything.
You don't think big plastic runs the world?
Big plastic.
How else am I going to fill up my bathroom trash?
Right, exactly. What are you gonna do with that half a 7-Up bottle that keeps them all stuffed inside?
How else am I going to get a bonnet? Like, I don't know what's going on out
Exactly.
here.
When you're out trick or treating, what are you supposed to do?
Oh, that's when we use a
Pillowcase.
a pillowcase. So,
Oh, you came in old school. I respect it.
or just a plastic pumpkin. We don't skimp out on those.
Oh, damn. Yeah, man. I love a good plastic pumpkin. So now this is the part of the conversation where my wife will stop listening. She was very upset in the last episode because we came out the gate talking about video games, and she did not enjoy that.
Is this where we get back
now
into
you providing her
this is where we get back
distinct
into
break.
cream pie talk?
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the part.
For the boys.
Cream
for
pie
the
corner.
boys.
We're gonna talk about some things. Get ready for it.
But this is where this is where she begins to hate listen. So then she's gonna talk to me and tell me she's not a hater. She's a hater, just letting you know. But so I finally got rid of my Xbox One today. It's just been sitting in the garage forever. I mean, I still have my Xbox One S, the white one. I haven't bought like a Series X yet, just kind of sitting on it. But they had a couple of promotions going, so I got a good chunk of change for it. I had like something like 80,000 points or whatever. So you turned that into a coupon, and then the local GameStop had according to the guy, the person bought it, had it for a night, bought it back. I got the white OLED used and only came out the pocket $50.
That's great.
Yeah. And because my tech guy at my school, he was like, man, have you seen the OLED? And I was like, nah, I'm not super interested. Like, whatever. And I think I might have talked about it here before. But then when he brought it in, and I realized like how much that like lack of bezel makes a difference.
Big
I've
difference.
been like a huge difference. So I was like, oh, this is disrespectful. Like how much real estate is going unused. So when I saw that they were having that deal, I was like, you know what? I can't pass this one up. I got to do it, and only come out like 50 out the pocket. Okay, I'm good, So that was like a super good score. Now, the only problem the thing I need to figure out is how to transfer my saves over, because I'm doing the feature where it's like one's the send and one's the destination, but the new Switch doesn't recognize the old Switch. So the old Switch is ready to transfer, new one won't do it.
It wouldn't work for me neither. I ended up putting all my saves in the cloud and just pulling them back out, just installing all the games back again.
I got it to transfer over from me. I ended up, of course, having to make sure they both were on the same firmware.
Yeah, I did that.
But beyond that, it hiccuped a couple of times, but then I did get it to work.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't call it, just dumb luck, I guess.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Okay, so do you have to upload them to the cloud, or do they automatically upload to?
You got to go through and I'd recommend you go through and just double check and go through it and upload any saves that you really want to hold on to.
Okay, yeah, I might do that. And then I think the only one that's going to give me a problem is my Animal Crossing. Like, I got to download the Animal Crossing app. Yeah. So I'm going to get on that. That'll be like something I'll work on over the next couple of days. But yeah, I'm super hyped because I really wanted the white one. And so, because I already have the other colors that I'm like, I don't want to like be redundant on these Joy-Cons. So yeah, now it's like set up. It's beautiful. Like, I don't think that this Switch was like used at all. So I was like, man, this will fucking come up. I did have an extra memory card, like untouched, hanging around. It's like a 128 gig. So I popped that one in. Eventually, when those sales come around, can they handle a terabyte now?
Yeah, up to a terabyte is what you can put on there. You don't need a terabyte.
No, I know I don't need a terabyte. Like, I think I'm good with the 128 that I
put
have for a while.
I put a 256, I think, is what's in my OLED. Mm-hmm. And that was me upgrading from the 200 that I had in the OG that I gave my kid. So
yeah, because
it's proven to be plenty of space. But that's since I buy carts.
Yeah.
Are you like super going digital, or you like?
Yeah, I'm going digital.
Okay, so maybe
because I have in my current Switch I have a 480, and I'm not even close to like maxing that bitch out. I still have like a lot of space, but I'm gonna leave that card instead of having to do the sort over, because I'm sure I can catch a fucking terabyte every so often. Those things go on sale, so I'll probably grab one fairly soon. But so yeah,
it's a good idea. I didn't even think about getting a terabyte card.
Yeah, but I'm hyped, man. I'm super stoked to have that going on. What about you guys? What have you guys been playing? What have you guys been gaming on?
Not finally, but I guess finally, because I've owned the game for a stretch now. But I finally started Lost Judgment, the sequel to Judgment, or or Judge Eyes in Japan, if you got it from there. And back once again in the shoes of Japanese detective Yagami, and I love it so far.
Great game.
I'm really enjoying it thus far. I very much enjoyed the first game, Judgment. So I mean, I'm glad I'm all in on the sequel. Apparently, there's a lot of DLC for it as well. So I'm like, that's crazy. So got to get on that. But I beat Tunic. I don't know if I don't even know if I talked about Tunic.
No, we hadn't.
Last month. Yeah. So Tunic is a game available on Game Pass. If you have not, if you have Game Pass, take advantage and get it. It is kind of like Death's Door. That it's like a Zelda-like that 3/4 perspective, and it was a really good game. I ran right through that game. So I also beat Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is a dope game. It's always on sale, but it's also now on Game Pass. So I would tell you to play. It's such a good story. It's such a fun game. The story is what got me in that game, oddly enough. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a fun game. It plays fun, but it's the story that got me like.
No, the story is really good. Like it's original. It makes sense. Like, it's not all kind of like funky and like convoluted. I liked it.
Very much so. So I beat that as well. I finished like 3 games the last time I was on here.
Yeah, I think the last time was like Death's Door.
Yeah. And so I actually have been being smart enough in 2022 to keep a list. And so my March games I concluded in the month of March were Cyberpunk 2077, Super Mario Land 6 golden coins, Super Mario Land 2 6 golden coins on this very here analog pocket.
Oh yeah. I forgot.
And Tunic, Guardians of the Galaxy, and this little short game again. It's on Game Pass. It's called A Memoir Blue, and it was interesting. I would tell you to play that. It's a relatively easy thousand achievement points if you are achievement type of guy like I am. So I would tell you play. It literally takes an hour. It's an hour to play the entire game.
What's it called?
A Memoir Blue, and again, it's available on Game Pass. And yeah, worthy little playthrough. I would tell you that.
All right. Lunchbox, you still on Halo?
The last
Or
game
Elden
I
Ring,
played,
right?
Elden Ring, but I haven't played in a couple weeks. I definitely need to carve some time out to get back on there.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Delvin? I know you were kind of doing similar, right?
Yeah, I'm still playing Horizon Forbidden West. I'm pretty good at it. I want to say I'm a little more than halfway through it. I'm enjoying the game a lot. I'm doing damn near all the side quests and stuff. It's still an expansive world I'm heavy into, and I'm enjoying my time with it a lot. So it's great. I'm also playing Lego Star Wars. I just started playing that today. What is it called? The Skywalker Saga.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot so far. I started with episode 7.
Yeah.
Because it has the whole trilogy, and it's all.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's not remastered. It's a remake. They've redone every trilogy. It's not like the original Star Wars games, to my knowledge, like the ones that came on PS2 or anything like that. They redid all the Star Wars sagas from episode 1 to episode, what is it, 8? No, it's 9.
In my opinion, I think the Lego Star Wars are the best of the Lego games.
I agree. And these are no different. It's so far I'm having a blast with it. It's fun. There's been actual couple moments I've laughed during this storytelling of it. I think it's a blast. Also, I played, because I got this for my birthday, and this is probably the worst game I ever played in my fucking life.
Yourself.
This game fucking sucks. Babylon's Fall.
Oh, I've heard nothing but terrible things about it. People are like,
yeah. Okay.
People are like, that game should be free, not for cost.
It shouldn't even be free. They should pay you to play that bullshit. That game is terrible. That game is whack. First of all, let me tell you how this works. So, I got the game for free. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna try it. I put it in my system. It boots up. The first thing it asks you is, first, you got to go through this whole list of things. You got to sign all these NDAs, probably sign your life over your soul over to play the game. That's like a several long list to do that. I'm like, okay, this is just the world and the age we live into. That's cool. I got to do that. Then all that, right? Then it says you have to sign into a Square Enix account. I'm like, I said, can I skip this? No, you cannot skip this.
I hate that shit. I hate when games pull that move.
You cannot play the game unless you create a Square Enix account.
You not have a Square Enix account already from some other game?
And this is the thing. I do. From Final Fantasy.
When's the last time you used it?
It wasn't that long ago when Final Fantasy VII came out.
Okay.
I put in my username and password. And no, matter of fact, I don't even think that's the case. Because if I remember correctly, when I did it with Final Fantasy or something like that, it lets you use your PSN account. Mm-hmm. This game doesn't let you do that. You have to actually physically create an account on the system.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't link like how it was like, I think Ubisoft, maybe even Activision, like it goes like, oh, this is your logged in via PSN. Square does a whole different thing.
Yes, you have to sign in on the system, doing the whole thing with the controller and stuff like that, put in your whole email, your password, all that stuff, and fill out all the things. I do all that after like 10 minutes of doing that stupid shit and having to figure out a password or username for some shit I'm never going to use. I finally get into the game, right? I'm like, okay, we'll see how this game is. This game looks like it was made for PS3. This is one ugly.
They still got square hands like this.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck am I playing? Is the game glitching? It looks like shit's popping in and out of it. The characters look like it's it's supposed to be shell shaded, but it's not shell shaded. It looks like it's a mix between Eco and trying to be realistic. I'm like, this looks fucking awful. I'm like, okay, let me get down to the gameplay. So I'm starting to play the game. The characters moving janky. They have these like big 3, like you can see their weapons on the back, and and you hit a button and it works to a different weapon, and I'm like, this feels horrible. This feels awful. And I'm not having a blast with this at all. So I say, you know what? Maybe it's me. Maybe I didn't play something that's going to enjoy. So I went back and started playing Horizon. The next day, I said, let me try it again. Next day comes. I get ready to try it again. It asked me for my username and password again. You know what? Fuck this game. I immediately took that shit out and threw that shit against the wall and took that shit to GameStop and traded it in. Like, no, I'm not doing this shit no more.
That game has me worried about Bayonetta 3, man.
Yeah,
because
Bayonetta has been
they've been on some bullshit over at Platinum, man.
Yeah,
Platinum has this thing where they will, and this is the thing that drives me crazy about Platinum, because I like Platinum games, contrary to popular belief. Platinum does this thing where they'll come up with one really, really good game like Transformers Devastation.
Yeah.
And then they will put out some absolute bullshit. And if you don't know which one is which, it's really hard to distinguish because, like I say, they'll make a really, really good Transformers Devastation is excellent. It is probably one of the best Transformer games out there. Bayonetta series is good. Then they'll put out like Legend of Korra. You're like, is this made by the same company?
Yeah, because Korra, like in its essence, is a pretty decent game.
Yes.
In its execution, it's like how you said, that Korra is like somewhere between the PS2, PS3 era. Like it's not a good game.
Yeah, and that's my whole knock on Platinum. They like I said, sometimes they'll put out something you're like, this is amazing, this is great, this is fun, this is fast paced action. Yeah. This is what you want to play. Then they'll put out some bullshit like Babylon's Fall. Like, how did you make this game?
Did you mention the character creator there?
Which one?
In Babylon's Fall.
Did I do what in it? Oh yeah,
the character creator.
Yes,
so
I
like,
did.
So like my man, blessing Adeyoye over at Kind of Funny, was like, look at the shades that you can choose from to try to make yourself a different color. Like, and every shade was just the same shade, even though yes. you chose dark, it was not dark.
It's white, light white, white light, white light, white with a tan,
and cream pie,
with a better tan,
cream pie,
cream pie, and white with a different tan. Like, oh my god, this is fucking awful.
White with the sunburn.
And the hair is like kind of the same. You got like wavy hair, kind of wavy hair, wavier hair, bald. Because I think bald is easy to make.
Do they do the one that's like not an afro but a lot of hair?
Yeah, not an afro. It could be cornrows if you squinch really hard. Yeah, that game is fucking trash. That game is a weed plate. Like, nobody should be playing that game. That game sucks. It is horrible. One of the worst games I've ever played in my life. I don't see how it got made. They robbed Square Enix because I don't know how much Square Enix paid, but they overpaid to have that game made. Now we pissed off at Platinum Games. You made me that bullshit.
So you're saying 0 stars?
0 stars, yes. 0.
How about you, Ant? What are you playing?
I'm still playing Ghost right now.
What do you think of it?
I love it. It's funny, like, you know, it said I'm still only at 29%. I'm like, damn, how much more of this game I got?
Oh, that game's
got a whole nother island to go.
Yeah. That game is one of the few games, like, you guys know my playing style. Like, I don't do a lot of side mission stuff. I have really tried, whenever there's like a place to go or a thing to find, I've really tried to find it. I've finished the story. I've done the DLC. I think I still have like 30% more to go before I even get close. I'm just like, how much more is undiscovered? Like, they put everything into this fucking game.
Yeah. I mean, this is like get rich or die trying. It's it's a hell of a first effort. But it's real fun. Like just running through stuff and, you know, taking hot baths. It's a fun game.
Yeah, that's a trip too. When he's just like, "Oh, I'm about to go to these hot springs and relax real quick." It's like, hey, you know what?
Yeah,
that sounds right. Now, what's your play style? Like, do you go stealthy or do you just go, I'm murdering everybody?
I make people taste my blade. I don't fuck around.
All right. So have you gotten to like the special ability where you go basically like in full rage mode?
Oh yeah, well, I forgot what it's called, but when the red meter go up,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yes.
And then you just like whack, 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 fuck. Oh man, the murdering in Ghost of Tsushima is really like fulfilling in the worst ways.
yeah.
Yes.
It's funny. Like I love when some like because everything is like based on honor, but
Mhm.
then like somebody be crawling on the ground, you go "Ugh," stab him right in
Yes.
the butt cheeks.
Yep.
Yeah. That's how you do it. That's honor.
Yeah.
Honorable death.
but-
Stabbed in butt cheeks.
The
Yeah.
damn this fucking guy. Listen, if there's
Cream pie.
any single ladies listening to this show in the Orlando area, well, I need you to meet up with Delvin. He needs some help because if not, he's gonna feed him a large jar of ponds. So he's gonna need some help. Please help.
Yeah.
him, man.
I'll agree to that.
He's
Yes.
over here trying to stab cheeks. But yeah, no, Ghost of Tsushima is a lot of fun. If you get the chance, I do recommend playing like the online portion as well.
Legends.
Yeah, because one's like a horde mode, and the other one is like these little sort of like mini missions. They're fun. Like I really, really enjoy them.
But nothing pisses me off more than like you get your little question mark, you roll up on it, and it's this is another area you can play Legends. I'm like, man, come on, man.
Yeah, no, that is some bullshit.
That's
I
annoying.
don't like that. Yeah, that's it. That has annoyed me. Where I'm like, no, I will get to Legends when I get to Legends. I just don't want to do it right now.
Yeah. Like, hey, you want to play Legends? Like, no.
Yeah, no shit.
Let me
It's
continue
like,
playing the game.
yeah,
Like,
it's
shit,
over
you
here
wanna
like
play
a dope
Legends?
dealer. Like, hey, you want to hit? It's like, I know where to get it. Leave me alone.
It's only like
I learned it from you, Dad.
it's only a handful of annoying things about the game. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like when I hate that yellow bird sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Because that yellow bird does dumb shit. Okay, so
Mhm.
for people listening, there's this little yellow bird that will fly around and will take you to different locations to find like special things.
That
And
does dumb
sometimes that
shit.
bitch will go through a mountain. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I?
yeah, like it's gonna take me at least 2 minutes to get up there. You gotta chill out, yellow bird. Stop tweeting.
Yeah.
Like, not all the time, but either the fox or that little yellow bird, like, oh, I'm following you to go do a little a prayer session with the fox.
Mhm.
Then there'd be some Mongols on the side over there. I was like, man, you led me to death. What is you doing? Man?
Yeah.
Watch me straight up setting you up
He did. He
Yeah.
did.
like a drive-by.
Yep. hmm Set you up.
Yeah.
He was like, listen, come on, let's go on this date. Then you realize her brothers are around the corner. You're about to
Yeah.
get stomped out. One of
Yeah.
them's name's Chauncey. You always know
Yeah.
it's Chauncey.
Sounds accurate.
Chauncey.
Good samurai Mad City. It's it's real fun. I'm really enjoying it.
No, I'm glad.
Yeah. And then probably after that, like I uploaded a few of my PlayStation 4 games onto the PS5. I might run back Grand Theft Auto again for a little bit.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up because I know, like, in one of your last episodes, you guys were talking about, like, what the fuck is in, like, Grand Theft Auto to do, like, we know what the story is, but the online. So my son and I actually, like, often play the online because there's a lot of story missions there. Like, right now, we just been, and I need to do the last one, but, like, Dr. Dre has a series of missions to do. And so it's just one little mission after another little mission. And they're just like story modes, but it's all these fucking story modes all over the place. So you can play it like the fucking Sims if you wanted to, or you can play it in like story mode in a sense, like online story mode, where you have all these other things to do. And then the heists are nuts because they take a lot of setup. And so my son will set up all the heists, and then when it comes down to the main heist, he'll like do it. But this new update for the PS5, the online version's free, the upgrade, and so it's beautiful. Like it's a lot cleaner. Yeah, it's still GTA 5, so it is going to have a little datedness on the look, but it uploads very quickly. The cars drive a lot better. Everything is just like upgraded. It's so much better. I haven't tried the story to see how that upgrade is. I mean, it was like $10. I was like, fine, I'll pay for it. But so yeah, definitely dip into that GTA. It's worth it. And then on my end, I've been playing, trying to really get through Horizon Forbidden West. I want to preface with, this is not a bad game. Like, it isn't. It plays really, really well. It looks good. I'm just getting lost on the story. It's not as compelling as the first one was. I think I mentioned it when I was on with you guys last time, that on States Crunchy and Milk, that the story is just, it's I don't know, it's losing its way. Like, it's kind of whack in my opinion. Because like in the first game, we all knew they were like fighting to figure out what this corruption and what was Zero Dawn. Whereas this one is like, I roll up into a new village and they're like, hey, you're that warrior who, you know, conquered the thing last time and saved the world. Hey, we're having trouble with this other organization. Can you help us out? Like, basically everyone in the world is now a little bitch and can't fight for themselves. And so they want to just always like recruit you to solve their issues. And it's like, motherfucker, I saved the world. And you want me to go run errands and fight this other clique for you when I got no issues with them? That's on you. That's not on me. But that's kind of what I'm finding every time I go to a new place. So
yes,
that's definitely a wait till it go on sale from my man Charlie.
I think so. I mean, it's great. It's a fun game because when I'm in the game and like battling the fucking monsters and actually doing cauldrons this time, I'm like, all right, I get it. I'm having fun with that. But other than the story's just getting lost, where it's getting me to the point where I'm like, I just want to finish the story to just be done with it and then just do a bunch of side shit, you know?
How far are you in it?
2 Horizons straight where they done came out with another game, another open world game kind of in the same vicinity. Because Elden Ring came out like before that, and then they dropped their shit, and it's like people are like, man, I'm over here on Elden Ring. I ain't really trying to jump on.
Yeah, they got fucked again because when Breath of the Wild came, that really like knocked it back.
For sure.
Delvin, you were asking where I am. I just went back to my home base and put the Gaia kernel in the thing.
Okay, I got
after clearing out like the arena. So I think I'm like midway-ish.
Okay.
Or like maybe like a third or so.
Okay, gotcha.
So I've been working on that and then getting back into like the Call of Duty mobile on the phone. I hadn't played it for a long while and then picked it up again. I was like, that game is fucking fun. So I've been going into that like in the evenings. So there you go on all that. But as we wrap up, you know, I want to say just thank you to you guys for joining this evening. Lunchbox and man, thank you guys for joining. I know we're gonna do a side B to this conversation, and then we're gonna hop on over your guys' way. I don't think I told Delvin, but you know, he'll just be there. So we'll work that out once these fucking schedules kind of lighten up, because on my end it's like every night there's always something to do. But I'll be having something coming up soon. I think next week's spring break for me, so we might need to talk. But you know, Lunchbox, Anthony, where can people find you?
Well, I am on, if I'm not mistaken, I'm Tatum216 on Instagram and Twitter. I'm not really on Twitter much. The only thing I really look at is fat kid deals every day and not GN deals. But you know, you can find me there. If you do say hi to me, I'll say hello. That's about it.
You can follow me on Twitter at Lunchbox2099, much like Spider-Man 2099.
Like it,
because that's where I stole it from.
What about Novocaine 2099? You got to get it going.
Time to make a change. New year.
That one might be open. It's a race to see who can get the domain first.
You got to lock it all down. You got to get the handle. You got to get the website. Start your political campaign.
I appreciate it. Nobody's mentioned it, but Lunchbox looks like he's in the Queen video, getting ready to sing.
We weren't here.
And I love it. It's awesome.
He's like, easy come, easy go. Well, how about you, T? What's up, man?
You know, it is every week. Stays Crunchy and Milk comes out every Thursday. You should be listening. Stays Crunchy and Milk on Stays Crunchy and Milk on Twitter. No, Skin Pod on Twitter. Stays Crunchy and Milk on Twitch. Stays Crunchy on YouTube. Stays Crunchy and Milk on TikTok. We try to get that TikTok presence a little bit popping. Chalfie's on the TikTok that just went up most recently. So there you go. You
Out
can see
here,
Chalfie
undershirt.
out here. Cali Love, California podcast legend Chalfie himself. Getting down to get down. You know what it is. I am Taylor 713, the internet over, which is why I refer to myself as the internet's Taylor 713, because everywhere across the internet, that is who I am. It is who I have been. You can add me anywhere. I don't give a damn. I'm probably not going to play no multiplayer games with you, but you can at least have me as a friend and try to compete me in these achievement streaks. I'm on PlayStation, but I don't play it that much.
It's there. What's popping on your end?
Nah. Usually I come talk about my podcast. I'm talking about somebody else's podcast for once. My girl Crystal Storm's doing this cool podcast. It's called Legacy, a Star Wars audio drama. What it is kind of like she kind of put together a cast of people, and they're kind of doing this fan fiction Star Wars podcast that's based on the Old Republic, and I think it's dope. If you get a chance, check it out. It's on every podcast so you can get it. I think it's a really cool concept, and I'm proud of her. It came out. The first episode's out now. It's amazing.
What's it called again?
It's called, if I'm going to say it correctly, Legacy, a Star Wars audio drama.
Yeah,
in the retweet group. That way, at least we can probably try to get some love from us. You know.
No, that's only the wrestling thread now.
Yes, it's the AEW/WWE WrestleMania wrestling thread.
So no, definitely show some love. I do want to check it out. I think it's a great idea. And also you guys did a great job. The three of you on PSVG as well. That shit is hilarious when you guys are all together. So
yes, I enjoy my time doing that show with them. So well, at least when it's all black on black. Yes.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us this evening. It's been a ton of fun. I hope you guys had a good time. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Good night.
What you say, Grandma? What you say, Grandma? What you say, Grandma? What you say, Grandma? Mama. Mama.
What?
What you say, Grandma? What you say?
Grandma's not here.